Alright, welcome back to the channel. If you saw my last video, we did the other sister. We're gonna watch Bonnie's story. And we're gonna, I think, if you watch the first one I ever posted about 8 passengers, one of the clips from this video is in there. Because I can kind of tell from the background. So we're gonna watch this one and see what she has to say. This other sister really didn't have much to say, so... I mean, the title of this one is I Am Not My Sister, I Am Not My Sister's Crimes. Interesting title. So without further ado, let's kind of just see what she has to say.
This feels like a very impossible video to make. I know that my words will be used against me. I also know that my words may help people understand me a little. I can only speak for myself, and I will only be speaking for myself, other than the judge has asked us not to speak on certain topics that I will not be touching on. What my family and I have gone through the last couple of weeks is the worst thing that has ever happened.
Real quick, I'm assuming these two sisters are on fire, like under fire for what Ruby did. So that's probably why she's kind of like her family and her are going through so much right now. It's probably because of all the harassment that she's getting. I don't know, it's just, you really shouldn't send hate towards people if you don't know them. And I mean, like, I don't know these two sisters, and I'm just kind of listening to their stories, seeing what they have to say. So you shouldn't send hate to other people unless you actually know what's going on. I just think it's crazy that they never stepped in. Like, how did they never see these kids? How did they never understand what was happening?
To us, it is, I spent the first week in complete shock, where I felt my body and my mind and my emotions were completely paralyzed because of the just absolute shock of all of this. The more I learn, my feelings are turning more to anger. I am mad. I am mad at what has happened. I am beyond disgusted, and I feel like it makes me tremble. It makes me tremble because it is unheard of. It's truly unbelievable. Something that I pride myself on, something that I...
So I saw that she said it was like unheard of, but like it's pretty common for parents to abuse their children. Like I've seen people literally chain their kids to their beds and like starve them, so it's not really unheard of. But I get what she's saying. It's just, it's more common than not, and it really shouldn't be like that.
I enjoy doing is being transparent, and I cannot be fully transparent with certain aspects of this. And if you don't understand that, then you don't understand how the system works. The first thing that I want to say,
the system sucks,
is that we have kept quiet for 3 years on the topic of our sister Ruby and Jody and Kevin and connections. That
Connections.
is what we have stayed quiet about.
Interesting.
We did not know what they were doing because, like we said, we were cut off.
Oh, okay, they were cut
We
off.
did not have access to anyone. My thoughts towards Ruby and Jody and Kevin and connections is that it was all bullcrap. It was complete indoctrination of this thing that they created. I don't agree with how extreme they are on everything. I knew they were weird. I knew that they were off. Those are the things that we kept quiet about, because what was I going to say? What was I going to do? I was not going to come out and publicly say that I don't like my sister and I don't like what she's doing and I think she's weird.
We kept quiet about them cutting us off because we didn't understand why they did it. That kind of sounds like they knew what was going on. Like, doesn't it? I mean, we didn't understand why they did it. Does that mean, like, we don't understand why they cut us off? or we don't know why they abused the kids. I mean, I don't know how to really follow up on that, you know? They really shouldn't have kept quiet. I mean, then again, she did say, what would they say? I don't know. Not much you can really do in that situation. Unless you actually knew what was going on. And if they did, that's kind of messed up that they kept quiet.
That is what we kept quiet about. It wasn't until about a year ago when we were able to reconnect with Sherry. Again, we kept that quiet. We never came out and said anything. You guys saw us together, and those were little glimpses when Sherry was ready to allow us to show those glimpses with her permission. And it was then that we were learning slowly bits and pieces of more. And that's where the part of behind the scenes, we did everything that we could. We did everything legally that we could do. And for those that were saying that they'd go in and bust down doors and do whatever it took to end up in jail, because from jail, I can't do anything. So I still
But she didn't do anything.
What I said is that I did everything that I could with the knowledge that I had and within the legal rights to Ruby and Kevin. The one person that could have done something within his legal right was Kevin. We had zero contact with him. It was Kevin's job to check in on things, and he did not. So
I don't know if you knew this, but Kevin claims he wasn't involved. He claims he was cut off and he hasn't been there for a year and a half. But if I'm not mistaken, these allegations go way back, like so far back. So I feel like he had to know something was going on. And also, I hear stories of that she was like kind of a homewrecker, and she does this a lot. Like so, like I don't know, she kind of ruins families. I don't know what the whole allegation was about. But yeah, I guess Kevin wasn't involved. I don't know if that's true. Like at all. I don't know why he never saw the kids. Even if she said, don't ever come home, I don't want to see you. Like, to make this relationship work, you have to move out. Why he was never seeing the kids. It just doesn't really add up to me, in my opinion. But I'm not Kevin. I'm not in the story, so I can't tell you much.
So when I say that Ruby and Kevin and Jody and Connections have been destroying our lives offline for the last 3 years, that is exactly what they've been doing, causing turmoil within our family. We would talk in circles because nothing made sense. Nothing made sense of what they were saying, of what they were doing. And it was off the wall. We couldn't make sense of what they were doing and why.
Is she claiming that Kevin's involved?
This is where my anger comes in. Their actions have cast the worst light on me, on other members of our family. And I have decided that I am no longer allowing them to have any control over what.
Why is she saying it only affected her? It affected everybody. It affected her and the sister. Like, it affected everybody in the family. Like, it's not just her. It's not like, oh, well, me, like, I'm affected. Like, I'm a kid. I was one of the kids that got abused. You're just the sister that did absolutely nothing, and now you're getting hate. Like, I get that you're getting hate, but it's not, well, me, you know? You weren't the one getting abused. You weren't the one getting beat. Like, this isn't about you. Like, at all. It's not about her at all. So the fact that she's sitting here and saying, oh, poor me, it's kind of dumb, you know? It's not just her. It was her, the kids, and the other sister. So that's just a dumb thing to even say.
What I do. I didn't post because I physically couldn't. I physically could not turn my camera on. I physically could not come up with a structured thought in my mind. I felt completely out of my mind. This has hurt every single person in our family. And watching it hurt my husband makes me mad. I have stood by Joel's side, building our home, and it sounds incredibly selfish to, given all the facts, be thinking of our house. But also,
I don't know Joel at all.
I have watched him put his heart and soul and every waking minute for the last couple of years on this project, and I will not allow Ruby and Kevin and Jody and Connections to take away one more thing. And so we wake up in the morning, we take our kids to school, and we come and we work on the house, and in the meantime and in between, we do everything that we can to be involved, but there is only so much that we're allowed to do. So
What the hell is she talking about? What did I miss? What is she talking about? Why is she talking about Joel and like a house and what he's built? I'm so confused on what they're even like discussing right now. Like, this is so off topic. I'm like really confused.
you better believe that for my husband, we will push forward. We will move on. Not because it feels good in any way. It feels horrible. It feels horrible coming into the house and working on things and even thinking of anything else, all while every news outlet, every national news outlet, people coming out of the woodworks making claims that are just so beyond ridiculous that there is no comment. It is so stupid that there is no comment. 3 years ago, Ruby and Kevin
That's
cut
confusing.
our family off, and
That was really
eventually
confusing.
they cut Kevin's family off as well. And I thought that was going to end my mom. She literally had a heart attack. She went into kidney failure. Her body was shutting down because it broke her. So you can only imagine.
Okay, this story right here is like really like all over the place. Now all of a sudden Ruby cutting them off caused the mother to almost die. I'm gonna need some fact checkers on that because I don't think that's even close. Maybe she has something else going on. Like, I don't think it was Ruby leaving and cutting everybody off that almost killed her. Because, like, did she say kidney failure, heart failure? Because, like, none of that makes sense to me. I think it's an underlining thing that was happening. And she's just putting it in here so she doesn't, so she doesn't look like such a bad person. She's actually saying a lot of things that just are really crazy. And I'm not really following anything at all. Like, I thought this was just going to be about, like, oh, I wasn't involved. This wasn't, like, my doing. I wasn't, like, there all the time. I couldn't see the kids getting abused. But this is, like, out of the woodworks. I'm just lost for words.
What she is going through now, how we are all feeling now. And I'll only speak for myself, but Ruby and Kevin are not where my concern lies anymore. So it is difficult to have the blame put on us when these are not the actions of us. These are not the actions that we did. And I get people wanting to put blame somewhere. I do. They want to blame someone. There's only one person that could have helped, and he didn't. What he was doing all that time when him and Ruby were separated is beyond me. I will not let Ruby and Kevin and Connections and Jody take one more thing away from me. So you better believe I will.
I wonder what Kevin was doing during all that.
Because if that is what tiny control I have left, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take control and do what I feel. It doesn't feel good to not know what's ahead. That is not a comforting feeling. I'm not even trying to find comfort at this point. I am focused on putting one foot in front of the other, 1 hour at a time, not even a day at a time, 1 hour at a time. I am focusing on what I can control, which is the environment that I have for my children. And that is the only thing that gets me up and out of bed every day, is my 4 children. So I will continue doing what I have always done, which is putting my kids and Joel first and helping in any way that I possibly can outside of that. I am not my sister. I am not my sister's mistakes.
Oh, hey, she said the
All right,
title.
you guys are right.
She said the title. That was pretty interesting. I don't think you guys, I don't know if you noticed, but every time I pause the video to talk, it's always an ad. But yeah, that's usually when I end the videos, is when the ad pops up. This story was pretty out there, you know? It was nothing like the other sister. She was more like, just like putting allegations to rest, like she wasn't involved. She just said a bunch of random crap. Like, oh, well, me and my husband are going to keep building our house, like, I don't know what that really meant. And then she kept saying, like, she said something about her mom having, I think, kidney failure, and it was all due to Ruby cutting off the family. Didn't make sense to me. I didn't understand it. The Kevin thing, though, I don't really trust Kevin. I really think he was involved. And I wonder what he was doing during all this time. Because I really think he was involved in a lot of this, and he pretty much got away scot-free. And I would really hope they did something like a deep dive into him, because I really don't believe what he was doing was like the right thing to do, you know? There's just no way he didn't know his kids were being abused. And if you haven't seen the video before this, I recommend going checking it out. It's a much shorter video. But with that, you know, I post every day. Make sure to like the video. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.